I seriously don't understand why I have to constantly put up with these here every day. Between these ungrateful black kids who can't test their way out of a paper bag, or these teachers who don't get it.
All right, listen. Take the racism out of your conversation. You got to learn how to separate yourself from this stuff just for a second, okay? Because a lot of people are upset by his racist comments. We understand that. We get that. That's not our point of emphasis here in his monologue, okay? Let me be 100% clear. We're fully aware of racism within the country, historically and present. We get that. And we're not minimizing it. And many people have already spoken on this, but I'm not talking about this. I'm speaking as an educator for a second, okay? Necessarily, but along the lines of what he qualifies and quantifies as education. This is arguably, for me, one of the more problematic sentiments he makes in the conversation or in his monologue is the fact that he equates these standardized tests with the definition of education. And he wants to make sure that these standardized tests, the standards of these tests are met. So your vitriol and your contempt for this particular demographic of people is primarily fueled. I mean, we understand you're a white supremacist, we get that, but it's also greatly fueled by your ignorance of the policies and the practices of the current educational system and how these tests have been deemed standardized, but in fact, they are anything but standard. Continue on.
How hard is it to get these students to meet their grade level expectations? Lawrence and Ravenel should have never been hired. And don't let me get started on DJ. I'm going to drag his black ass out of here one way or another. And don't let me get started on DJ. I'm going to drag his black ass out of here one way or another.
Shout out to DJ. He must be a real one. Shout out to DJ. He must be a real one because he don't want this man just fired or terminated. Oh, no, sir. See, y'all gotta understand something. Y'all really have to understand we are in a war out here. The people understand this. This is why I laugh at this. I truly laugh at this. This is hilarious to me. Hilarious. Because I know the sentiment of many so-called educators in America. I know this is primary battlegrounds, if you will. And so I bear witness to this over the decades. JuiceBarr has seen it. Okay? So I'm telling you, this is nothing new for me. So I'm laughing at this. But DJ must be a real one because he don't want this man or this female. He doesn't want he or her just terminated. Oh no, not written up, not transferred. He wants this individual's black, you know what, dragged out. Whoa, here we go.
I'm gonna get something to stick.
You heard that? You heard that? Did you hear that, y'all? He said, I'm going to get something to stick. Ooh. Oh, man. I'm going to get something to stick. What do you mean? Oh, you know exactly what he means. Talking about a potential setup here. A potential planting of something there. A calling of the authorities henceforth. And that man's literally, as he suggested, being dragged out of the door in shame and cuffs because of something like this. This is the shameful side of education. This is truly the shameful side of so-called education in America. Let's continue to pour.
I'm so sick of the inadequacies of these people. And if I have to get one more complaint from one more Jew in this community, I'm going to join the other side. Kathy, I'm done.
So there you go. He has almost, not fully, but I guess he has denounced his people because of continuous complaints. And he dare suggest that he was going to switch sides because of the continuous complaints from this particular demographic of people. He went all in. And the person who he's talking to, I guess, is just listening, and she very, or he very well may, I think it was she, very well may just be used to his rants, and it got out and it went viral. And here are the results. And of course, they're calling for his job and things of that nature. But these things are good for teaching, family. This is good lessons. Good lessons. You have to understand, many of these so-called leaders of education who serve as principals nationwide, they share sentiments very similar to this. I'm going to go into the school systems very soon. I did a report back in 2009 talking about how they partially educate children on the topic of history. And I did it at a particular high school back in 2009. I did it for a university. I'm going to go back there. But at that time I was there, I remember they telling me that the principal, the students, they were telling me that the principal was telling them and teaching them that black children should be thankful that slavery existed. Of course, I rebuked and refuted the sentiments right then and there to the children and gave them some good facts and documents as to why that was a complete, ridiculous, stupefied lie. Nonetheless, these are the type of individuals that you see in public schools and private schools and charter schools all throughout America. Yes, indeedy. Let's pour.